Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Your First Jungle Clear. This is episode number 34. This is going to be we did a pretty big one last week. I think we had 7 or 8 guests on. We're still going to do actually a pretty good one this one. We got 7 guests. We got a lot of different champions on tonight. I'll quickly get up my list. We have a Vi game, Shaco, Amumu, Karthus game, Master Yi, Fiddlesticks, and we'll finish up with a Volley. So pretty good wide range of champions here. Someone did suggest in the comments in my last YFJC, the videos that I upload to YouTube, I do this every week on Twitch, to chuck the thumbnails, the little pictures of the champions in the thumbnails. I will do that for these next couple of weeks. I actually might even update all my thumbnails on that, so this should help you guys navigate through my YFJC playlist a lot better. So we're going to jump into our first guest, Aiko, in a moment. Also, if you don't know what Your First Jungle Clear is the first time you're watching, this is the show where I go over the early jungle pathing from members of my community. You can join up my Discord server. There's a link up there to join. You just have to fill out a form. You get an email with the link to join up, and you can join the community. We're at about 600, closing on 700 members now, so we're growing pretty steadily here. Alright, so let's jump straight into it and get our first guest on. Alright, Aiko, you are on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yes, I can. Hello, hello.
Excellent. Twitch chat, let me know if Aiko is a little loud, but I think you're okay. It's fine, I'll adjust the audio levels here, Aiko.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, so, obviously welcome back to the show, Aiko. It's been, as I think in Twitch chat you said, it was a Nunu game you last time did, is that right?
That's right, yeah, back in like June, I think.
And how's our ranks been going since then? Were you a Nunu one-trick then, or are you just purely on Vi now?
I haven't played enough games to be a one-trick at anything,
of
really.
Course.
I was just enjoying it. I haven't really played it much since around when they buffed him, ironically, but more into the Vi Echo right now.
Alright, well, you've been killing on Vi recently, according to your OPGG. So...
Yeah, getting more comfortable, at least.
Excellent. Champion Master is important. But obviously, Aiko, as you say, you hear me say all the time, we need more games, you know, a lot more games if you really want to climb.
Definitely.
Alright, so, what's the game plan here? Do you always start red as Vi? Do you sometimes start blue if you want to impact topside?
99% of the time will start red, mostly because that's just the clear that I practice the most.
So you'll just do a standard
the other way, yeah.
red-blue Gromp, and then look to gank. If not, go back to farming?
No, so actually, I found this clears from it's a Challenger replay that I saw, where it's red Krugs Raptors, and then transition gank if there's an option, and then go clear blue.
I like that as well. That's definitely good. Definitely very good, because you can always get really hard punished as, you know, these sort of champions that do, you know, this path, because your Raptors are very vulnerable, you know. So if you clear all this up and then look to a mid gank and defend your bot camps, it's pretty good. So I would approve of that path, to be honest. Yeah, Aiko.
Yeah, the only negative is it's kind of tricky. Just early, the first, you know, Krugs is really tough unless you micro around a little bit, but I mean, we'll see.
Yes, so that's my only concern, yeah, with Vi. It's like, what's the clear like? Yeah. Okay, you're kiting the little Krug pretty well there. That's good.
Yeah, that took me a while in the practice tool.
Okay, we saw one pot. We're relatively healthy.
And then the key for this part is like the passive stat. That's essential to get them on different targets so you can get the shield up again. Then I mistimed it anyway, so I didn't get it.
Have you looked at how that Vi player that you talked about, clear Raptors?
Yeah, this is how he does it.
Oh,
he
really?
Like hits 3 on each little one twice, and then the third time he goes on the big one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's how he does it, you know, like every game, or that's just what he did that one game, but...
Because in general, with machete users, you're going to be more healthy kiting and killing the small raptors first and not walking to kill the big raptor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So try it out. Try focusing like literally one at a time. Don't AO them all down, because, you know, like, you know, you just they will have collateral damage from the E anyway, but try killing all the little ones first and like kiting them and see the health. with healthiness, because
yeah, I'll give that a try.
I feel like you're tanking them way too much here. I feel like you could be a lot
this
healthier.
is like I get so low on this.
That's problematic.
Sure. I'll give that a try next time.
Because that could be all the difference between doing a mid gank off or not, Aiko. You know, it's really important.
Yeah, a lot of time. That's definitely sometimes you know a lot of time there's no option, but sometimes there's the option. I'm too low. I can't go anyway. So yeah, I'll give that a try. Here, I actually thought Olaf went the other way. Like I thought he started bot, but I think it was the bot laners just waited to come into lane. So I thought he was top, which is why I just like went straight for the scuttle. And turns out he was actually right there.
Okay, so we know that he started top here based on mana pools here, Aiko.
Yeah, that's something I need to remember to look at.
Yeah,
because as soon as Jace popped up, I'm like, oh. But yeah.
So that's really important because, you know, Olaf's potentially... We lose to Olaf 1v1 definitely in the early game.
Oh yeah, if he had gone for the scuttle, I definitely would have died there. Thankfully, he goes for a mid gank instead.
So really important to always be getting that information. So yeah, he ganks mid. So if he is now here, he has 20 CS. What does that mean? What jungle camps has he done?
So well, 20. So he's done 5 camps. At the I don't, you know, at this point I didn't know which way he went. Because I was trying to remember the, you know, your Olaf clear.
Yeah.
But so he's done at least, you know, he's left one of them up.
Yeah.
I don't know which one though.
You could pretty much given the time that he ganked this, you could pretty much have a good guess his Krugs are still up if he started blue, but you need to know that he started blue. But again, the fact that he comes here, you know he started blue. So
right.
Yeah, this sort of tracking stuff, Aiko, is really important, you know, and just practices every time. Like let's say Olaf shows on the map here, you in your head will just say, okay, this is what I think he's done. And then every game you go to your replay and be like, okay, then what did he actually do? And I need you to be right 100% of the time, you know? So get that to that level, and that will really help your gameplay a lot, you know? And also make sure that you know where the enemy jungler started, because otherwise you're literally just coin flipping, Aiko. What happens if Olaf didn't show here? You know, you're on bot crab, you use your Q, Olaf comes, catches you, you're dead, you know?
Yeah, I think that's definitely, you know, early game has been the most difficult part for me for a while. And I think a lot of it is just because of the tracking. Just isn't there. Like that part, obviously I saw he went back into his blue side.
Yeah.
And I think actually he comes up to mine. I don't remember if it's this recall or a different one, but he invaded me a lot.
Okay, well, you just do a standard full clear. Yeah, I don't think anything was gankable that time. I definitely don't think this is gankable here. Aiko. I understand you're looking for a
when
gank.
I started over there, the way he reacted, it looked like he had a ward in Tribrush, because he was kind of coming up and then he turned around. It was probably just coincidence, but yeah, I don't know if that was a good call anyway. Even if he did stay there.
Yeah, he's just not going to stay here. I mean, the waves, you know, he's getting ready for the wave to push in. There's no reason for him to walk up here, because what CS does he need to go for right here?
That's true, yeah.
None. So, you know, like these milliseconds and just identifying, just, you know, it's like, okay, this is not gankable, just camps. It could make all the difference, you know?
Yeah, and I think I did, you know, obviously I decided that a little late, but...
Yeah, you did decide it, but it's too late, you know, the speed's everything.
At that point, it's obvious. Yeah.
So I think this is fine. Let's get rid of the chat so we can just look at the levels. Oh, nice. Excellent. Good gank. Utilizing Vega. I love it. We take Dragon.
And so this point, I didn't actually... Like, he got executed by Raptors. I didn't actually know that happened. So it's kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know if this was a great choice. But
no,
I saw bot had Prio.
Yeah. Definitely 100% Dragon. You got plenty of vision here. Bot lane has priority. You know, it's Kate Leona. You're all good. Definitely free Dragon here, yeah.
Okay, good.
Excellent. You know what, Aiko, apart from obviously your knowledge of not tracking, but and that little bit of that you know, that tiny little 2 seconds decision making, this game's pretty much perfect early game, I'd say, for you right now.
Oh, really? Because I definitely felt a lot of pressure, just because I felt like Olaf was, and he hasn't. I guess not at this point. I wasn't feeling the pressure, but I just had this fixation on Olaf being this like hyper early carry or something. I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, then let him be strong in the early game. You just sit back, relax, and wait for the right opportunities. You're like outscaled him.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of trying to do, for sure.
All right, so this is a really important decision to recall here, Aiko. Do you want to be top or do you want to be bot for your ult?
So actually, I think at this point, my thought was Herald because it was coming up. So I was like, well, if I can get, because I wasn't really tracking him, but I was like, well, we put the pressure in bot, so hopefully they'll overcompensate in that direction. So I was like, well, maybe I can go up top and do something. And then also the red buff is up, and so Krugs. That was kind of my thought process, rather than...
so you're focused on the Rift Herald here, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so to be honest, I don't really care about top too much this game. I mean, it's Teemo into Jace. I want you to use your ult bot before Lucian and Swain get level 6. So what you want to do here, I need you to be bot ASAP. So what you'll do, you create an efficient jungle path around bots. You'll do wolves, red, Krugs, your raptors will spawn, but we don't care about them. Then come down bot, and then you're just going to dive bot with Leona ult, okay? Because they're going to hit level 6 beforehand because they're constantly having the push. So you see the experience difference here?
So you mean like tower dive, right?
Yeah, just absolute tower dive with your ult, 100%. Because look at the experience here, and look at their experience. They're by the time you come down bot, they still won't be level 6. Whoops.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is really important decision making here. Don't worry about the Rift Herald at all.
For me, when it comes to like ganks and stuff, I'm definitely very hesitant to dive, like under tower, which is mostly why, even there they get pushed up. When I went to recall, they were pushed under their tower. I guess the rhythm of the game is something I still just don't have the experience for yet.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And then this was just a huge misplay right here. After just talking about being hesitant to tower dive.
Yeah. Okay, well...
Here I just tunneled so hard. I was like, well, let's get this kill. Yeah. And then Olaf just walks up and spanks us.
Yeah, I mean, we just sort of account for Olaf there, but yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't expect, because I saw him bot, because he cleared the ward from the bush down there. So I just didn't expect him to be up here that quickly. But I guess if they cleared Scuttle, he gets the move speed.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think it's actually the gank itself here, Aiko. So,
well, yeah, it's just not good.
Sort of just understanding, like, she has flash, like her flash timer, her cooldown on it, So, like, she's obviously going to flash your flash Q. So, you know what? View this as a small win. Come here, charge up your Q, she flashes the Veigar E, done. Go back to your camps, do something else, And this is what we call small wins. It's like, we get a flash, great, now she has no flash, you can come back for a regank. So, yeah, I think it's just understanding, like, you don't want to be, like, trading flash for flash in these sort of situations because of the Olaf gank, It's like, sure, you can still kill her with the ult, but you're going to be in a very vulnerable position,
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of like, as I hit it, I was like, oh, that was bad, but you just kind of have to watch yourself go over. And then, of course, that happened. I think a lot of the mistakes that I make, they're not, just going to automatically go away, but I think a lot of it comes from just experience. I just need to play more games. I played like 700 total, including normal. It's just, just keep doing stuff.
You're an Overwatch coach, aren't you, as well?
I was an owner.
Okay.
I ran a
team.
Semi-amateur. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you probably know the process of what, being good at a game looks like, right? But spend around the time with those players and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that definitely helps a lot, just having that, knowing the coaching kind of techniques and things, because I can kind of do it to myself a little bit.
All right, Aiko. Well, that's going to be it for this early game here. You come to get Rift Herald, but yeah, some promising signs, but forcing ganks maybe a little bit too hard and not looking at ganks. It's like, what's gankable, what's not, and that decision making is too slow.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Any other questions, Aiko, around Vi or jungle in general?
I don't think so. That was all either confirming what I already knew or helping me out with some, like, the tracking and the
Tracking.
making sure to look for the dive with the experience and things like that.
No excuse not to be able to track stuff early game, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Aiko. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next time.
All right, cheers.
See you later. Alright, so that was our first guest for tonight. Nice, pretty good one. Overall, pretty good one. So that's a good minimize early game against the Olaf, but Olaf definitely did do him a service by showing on that mid gank early. Yes, Kami, you do need to join voice chat. If it's too late for you, then we're going to have to move on to the next guest. So, which is going to be Halos. So let me know if that changes for you, Kami. But we're going to move on to Halos now. Alright, so this is another NA game. A Amumu game. Amumu. Definitely not a very popular champion these days. This is Gold 3. Alright, Halos, you are on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Coach?
Good. And yourself? This is the first time you're on the show, is that right? I've seen you around your name.
Yeah. I've been on the show quite a couple of times, for VOD reviews and just watching other folks, but now first time on YFJC, so...
Excellent. Finally taking the plunge here, Halos. Ready for some early game jungle reviews.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, so I'm going to get your game up in just a moment. I'm actually having a client bug. But tell me how your rank's been going so far this season here, Halos.
Pretty decently. So I'm actually a mid main, and so if you pull up my OPGG, there's going to be a lot of mid games. I'm trying to transition to being a jungle main for next season, and I'm slowly using this season as a way to learn. Been playing a lot of Amumu. I have a ridiculous win rate on him, so I was like, well, might as well. I'm trying to learn Vi, but regardless, Amumu's been treating me really well. This specific game, I just had no idea what to do. Like, my top laner was basically smurfing, and bot lane was pretty even, and mid lane was slightly in our favor. I just kind of cleared camps all game and didn't do anything, and I felt like, we ended up winning the game because, two of my solo lanes were smurfing, but, I just had no clue what to do. It was
all right.
Felt really useless the whole game.
Let's take a look then. This is good. I love these sort of problem. It's like, it could be a lot of things like map awareness, not identifying what gank is gank and what's not. But, sometimes you actually have zero options. And you need to be okay with that. The worst thing you can do is make a mistake. Because the lower elo you go, and even, this is all up to master tier. People are making mistakes all the time. As long as you're not making game-losing mistakes, then you're still good. Doing nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is your job. Like you say, if your team outscales or something like that. But we'll take a look. You might have missed some opportunities. But it's just I hear that all the time. It's like, I just feel like I couldn't do anything, and it's like sometimes that's the case. You gotta embrace it. All right. So Fizz, Jax, Kate, Brand. If you were to pressure a lane, what would you think a win condition could potentially be this game for you?
Definitely top mid. Bot lane has good pressure in terms of, obviously Brand Caitlyn has so much range and just kill pressure, but it's Ezreal and Lux. If I go that lane, either Ezreal's going to E out flash for free, and then there's not really much I can do, and then Lux blinding. So I figured bot lane is not the play, top and mid, and top lane ended up just absolutely just destroying this Yone. So I basically kind of just camp mid.
Okay.
That was my take on it, though. Don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. So I think, firstly, yes, top lane, already I can tell it's a very vulnerable matchup. 2 melee conqueror chance with Ignite, and even taking TPs. So gank here is very punishing. It's very greedy to take Ignite as a top laner. Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing about bot here is Caitlyn Brand is going to be pressuring these guys hardcore. Caitlyn's actually a really good counter to Ezreal because she just straight up outranges and their poke's really good. So what you might need to be doing is either protecting them, or you could even look for dives bot potentially.
Okay.
I think Amumu is a bit more difficult because if you queue in, you're just going to probably, unless you turret aggro, juggle with a brand, which is probably not ideal. So dive in. I'm just trying to think of how Amumu interacts with those champions. But let's say if I was like an Elise or, Rek'Sai, Nidalee or something like that, like bot's actually a potential huge win condition for you, actually.
Okay.
The other thing as well is like Jax is not that good into Karthus, Lissandra, Ezreal in a way. So like him being a solid hardcore win condition might be problematic for you as well. Obviously he's very good into Yone, but also think about that way. It's like, okay, if he gets super fed, what sort of champions can deal with? And like Jax obviously counters melee champs, right? And we're against a Karthus Lissandra here who can kite, and Ezreal kite very well. They could kite a lot. Jax, you might not be able to do anything. And Lissandra is just going to be a really difficult to gank in general. With Fizz, I mean, it's still possible, but obviously she's taken Aftershock. It's not the easiest gank.
Yeah, and I found that out very quickly.
Yeah. So, I mean, believe it or not, I think it's the complete opposite this game. I think you can help out top a little bit, but I think it's making sure your bot is just dominating, And that might not just be kills, it might be coming down there for control ward, denying some vision, pressuring. Pressure comes in many different forms, it's not just kills.
Right.
So Russell said Fizz needs help to survive this, so it's not too bad. Yeah, that's definitely a point as well.
That's a good point.
Alright, so he solo kills the Yone. That is pretty big. So there's not much we can do there. Do you know where Karthus started this game here, Halos?
He started at a blue side.
Yeah.
He kind of has to. He's Karthus.
Yeah. Always double check though. You never know. People do some crazy
That's
things
fair.
in solo queue.
Yeah.
Well, I like this back and forth. This is a very good technique, Chaos. I like it.
I actually was talking to your next guy, Black Katana, or a Ruin Zyphos. I know him. We were talking about Amumu's clear, and this is actually decent, but there's a faster way to do it, which he was telling me about. So I'm gonna have to keep practicing that.
Faster way in terms of the leash.
No, just in terms of clearing a faster clear without a leash, actually, which I didn't realize was even possible, but it is.
With Amumu specifically, of course, right?
Yes, specifically with Amumu because of his E and his W.
Okay. Yeah, I can't help you there. I don't know much about Amumu, but I'll recommend.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's he was teaching me about that. So, if you ask him if you want to know about it.
Yeah, we can talk about that as well. But yeah, I mean, if you ever want to know how to best clear your jungle camps, just look at VODs of challenger players of X champion.
Yeah,
it might be difficult to be able to find a challenger Amumu player. I don't think that actually exists. From my knowledge, but a diamond player would suffice as well.
That's fair. Okay.
Alright, so we take the crab and we can double crab here because we know Karthus started blue, right?
Yep.
Excellent.
That's
Love it.
where I go to, yep.
So you see how, what we talked about before, just the hard pressure bot lane going on right now, Again, that's sort of just showing exactly why that's just going to be the case. They solo kill the Ezreal there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Red Boss. That's a very slow clear by Karthus. 326 on
Yeah,
punch.
I actually am ahead of Karthus in CS this entire game. It's kind of silly.
Alright, so this is, I think, one of your big downfalls here, Halos. Do you think this is gankable? I mean, obviously in hindsight, you know whether it is or not, but Fizz has no ignite. He's 10% health.
Yeah.
You don't have red buff. You don't have any AP items. Like, what do you think? Do you reckon you could you solo kill Lissandra here, even if somehow she happens to no Fizz?
If she had less mana, yeah, probably because I have Conqueror, but no. Here, where she's at, no, definitely not.
Yeah, but she have two tools. She's got her W and E to both get away from you, right? So this is the exact same thing as Echo. It's just identifying this is just not gankable in a million years. It just isn't. It's better to reset and just go back top. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is actually a big downfall for you, Halos, now, because the thing here is you're going to show on the map, and one of the rules that I talk about with my coaching clients, if you show on the map and do nothing, it's the worst case scenario because you need a base now. It's clear. Karthus isn't really going to do anything, but you know, like you could get severely punished against this. Like if you're against a Nilly or Lisa or something like that, you could lose your bot camps. Done. Your top camps, you know? So that's what I would call actually a game losing mistake, Alice. If I do that in Challenger or High Elo, you actually can lose the game off something like that, you know?
Jeez. Okay.
Alright, well this is a good gank. She has no mana and Fizz ults. Cool. That was really good. Good stuff. I actually really like that gank. That was good. Utilizing Fizz ult. Whoops.
Yeah, and see, this is the point of the game where I'm just like, all right, well, no idea what to do now.
Well,
like I've gotten my one mid gank off. Top is like 3-0 or 4-0 right now, and bot lane is just nonstop shoved under tower. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go clear all my camps again.
Absolutely.
Well, they're like,
move here. Yeah. You decide to do dragon here. Yeah. Okay. This is potentially
Karthus,
a risky
I knew
dragon.
where he was.
We know where he is, but I mean, I guess we know Botland's potentially basing it, but Fizz is not here, you know, like, I guess, I think this is fine. It's fine. Just be aware, you know, like, sometimes you maybe want them to push out the next wave fully again, then come do dragon, you know, just make sure it's a guaranteed dragon. But it's still fine. Do your camps, Hales. Do your camps, do your camps. Again, you need to identify right here, you've won the game. The game's done. All you need to do is just not waste time not doing your jungle camps here.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, Fizz still doesn't have ult for a bit. You do have ult, but again, it's a Lysandra. I know she has no flash, but you're losing too much tempo on your camps, you know?
So that's actually, well, that's one of the things I'm kind of struggling with at the moment is Amumu ult. Because from what I understand how Amumu plays, is his first ult is probably one of the most important ganks he's going to make in the game.
Yeah.
So as soon as I hit 6, I want to hit somebody with it. Like I want to go to a lane and use it because the amount of tempo you get from using it is kind of nuts because it's AoE, so it hits the wave and it's hitting them. And if you properly time your Q and your R, you get almost like 3 seconds of CC. So, I mean, as soon as I hit 6, I kind of struggle with just that feeling of, okay, I really need to do something right now.
And that's a trap, Halos. That really is. If there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. And I say this with Eve players as well. I talk this on the Eve guy. If you can't do a play, you can't do it. You know, like I only want you to do like ults where you know you're going to get a kill. But if your entire jungle camps up, you are not going for low percentage ganks ever, 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 ever.
Okay.
So don't feel pressured about it, you know? Like, there's so many situations where I'm playing Eve, and I'm like, I'm not doing my first ult sometimes till level 8 and 9 because there's just no opportunities. Yeah, it's not ideal, and yeah, you want to be using it on cooldown for high-impact plays, but some games is just not possible. So I would say right now you should probably be level 7 by now, Halos. You should be much further ahead of the Karthus, and yeah, you've wasted a bit too much time here. So that's what I'm going to go for this early game here, but I hope this gives you a bit of a more idea theory around, you know, don't feel forced to do things, only do high percentage things, you know. So Lysandra, yeah, you can kill it with the Fizz ult and, you know, your combo, but make sure that that's up. You know, again, Fizz ult wasn't even up when you went for that gank.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Alright, any other questions around, I mean, I can't really exactly help you with Amumu, but jungle in general?
No, I think that's it. I think that's so good.
Alright.
I appreciate it, though.
No worries, Halos. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next time.
Alright, later.
See you later. Alright. So, guess number 3 now is a Rare Possum, Karthus. So yeah, we just looked at a Karthus with a poor slow clear. Let's take a look at Rare Possum's Karthus here. Alright. Mr. Possum, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yep, I can hear you.
Excellent. Welcome back to the show, Rare Possum. What was your name again? I didn't catch your name last time. I can't remember if I asked. David, is it?
Yep, David.
Alright, David. Let me just log on to Oast. But how's our Karthus clearance specifically been going since your last review?
Last time I timed it, I think I got it down to 3:13.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Which is a large improvement, but still too slow.
Yeah. Does it feel a lot different? Like you feel
Absolutely. I can get to the skull almost every time.
Excellent.
Especially with a leash.
And we saw the consequences exactly of that past Karthus. You know, he lost a free crab to an Amumu, you know, like just because
Being
he's
level
not
4
clearing.
and killing the scuttle first.
Alright, so 5-8-15. It is a win. Why did you choose this game specifically, David?
I had an atrocious early game because I had my entire bot side taken.
Alright. Oh, so this is the game you talked about against the Rek'Sai. Alright, let's take a look. Yep,
Yep.
this is good. This is going to be interesting. So my initial reaction is going to be, what did you do with your ward level 1?
I think I dumped it in top river, as I normally do.
Interesting. You want to start blue.
Yes.
So tell me about why top river instead of bot side.
I'm normally going to start top and move bot so I can see if they're up top side. I didn't, and so I jumped it just before they got invaded, I think. So I didn't, I didn't save it because the Rek'Sai was already, didn't know. Yes, they just showed there on the bot side. I'm starting bot.
Yep. Alright.
I
So this is really important, David. Your problem's going to be solved super easily here. You're going to ward this location every single game. Okay?
Yep.
That's it. The only time you do this ward is if you're scared of a vertical.
Red
So,
to red.
yeah, so
With like a least thing.
yeah, they go red to your Gromp because they try and kill you on Gromp. Most of the time, you should be able to get it. If you get a bit of a leash, you can get it even beforehand. But if I'm
Oh, I've managed to get wolves as well before they even cross the river.
okay, well there you go. So absolutely always ward that. If it's becoming a problem, where you're getting invaded on Gromp. If you're in bronze right now, right? There's no way they're going to be doing that. Red into your Gromp. Very rarely. I rarely would see that.
So at least think go red into my wolves.
Red into your wolves. Interesting.
Yep, I already cleared my wolves by the time he got there though.
All right. Well, there you go. So, yep, your problem's all solved, David, by boarding this, because you would know if he does Raptors. So then you would know to just be able to cross here. You know.
Yep.
So we would actually see him on Raptors right now with this ward, and then you could adapt your path to this. And you would actually see him keep going down here as well, which means you know this is all yours.
Yeah, see, that's the odd one. I expected him to do my red. I thought he might do my raptors. I didn't expect him to take my Krugs as well.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, I wouldn't expect it either, but again, if that ward, will problem solve, David. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Let's place our ward outside this sort of section, and that's it. Because this game's just so unrealistic now. You should have gone to right down this, because again, you would have seen him do that.
Alright.
Alright, well, this was nice and quick, David. Any other questions around jungle or Karthus in general?
Nah, that's fine.
Alright, excellent. Well, thanks for coming on, David, and we'll potentially see you next time.
See you.
Alright, that was nice and quick, but that's sometimes the case, and this is why I do this show. You know, you can't mess up some basic stuff like that, because the game's just completely different. And in general, if you're playing these farming junglers, you always want to ward the other side of the map, so then you know if you're getting invaded on your red or late invaded, so then you can react to it, you know? The only problem, and I talk about this in my Eve guide, is if you do get, you know, red to your Gromp, but you can just deal with that. Sometimes you just let the Gromp go, but, you know, it's fine. You know, you just take your wolves, raptors, red, you can adapt to that. Sometimes actually we'll go from your Gromp then to your red. I mean, that's way higher elo stuff. But then you can still minimize and then potentially just go to their raptors, because you should see them cross through mid if that's the case. But we haven't. I mean, I've rarely done any reviews on YFJC around that, so again, that's probably not relevant to a lot of you guys. All right. Our next guest is over on NA. This is a Master Yi game, so definitely a lot of interesting champions on YFJC tonight. Not your traditional junglers. Blaster says, what about Kenvi? Well, Kenvi didn't submit the early game, so Will did it on his behalf, so if Kenvi wants to come on YFJC, it's going to come from him. All right. NA. So let's get our next this Yi Master Yi in here now. This is a bronze. No, silver. Okay, silver. Okay, Master Yi. All right, Black Katana, you are on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sure can. Welcome to the show. I just quickly noticed as well, you're in my Discord, you're bronze, but you're silver now. Have you climbed a lot recently, or were you always silver?
So I had a lot of previous accounts, and I kind of stayed around silver 4. And then this account is a new account. Obviously, it's pretty low level, so I went and I placed, I think like bronze 3, and then climbed all the way up to silver 1, and then almost got to gold, and then tilted down to silver 2.
Okay, so would you say you think your mental's a bit of a weakness of yours in terms of a league?
So mental is something that I definitely have to work with, obviously. I think that the issue is that if I don't get a good start, or if I don't, get somewhat decent team weights, I just tilt, and that's just something I just have to deal with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to adapt. I mean, like, the thing with that, again, it's like, sure, you might have a not so good early game. I mean, review it. We need to look over your early game, and that's what YFJC is all about. But, you got to understand they're going to make mistakes some point in the game. If you're playing champs like Master Yi, you can easily just outscale, and just be out of control, so
right.
You gotta always think about the next play in the game. Don't think about, if I just didn't do this in the early game, then this wouldn't have happened. Like, you can't think that way, because then you're going to be making suboptimal decisions all the time. That's for the review. That's for the review after the game. But you always need to be focused on I always say, what is the best decision in the current moment of the game, given the information that I have? And if you always ask yourself that question, right, what's the next objective? What's the next game plan? It prevents you from tilting.
Oh.
Go on, Black Katana.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
Mm-hmm. So this game, kind of what I started doing was I started red side. Obviously, I don't ever think you'd ever start blue side Master Yi.
Okay.
And then I went up. That was a weird trade there. I pinged that back quite a bit. Just went red Krugs, and then I started moving toward top, because at this point I'm thinking I want to shut down this Vayne, and I want to snowball this Darius, just because I don't want Vayne to get ahead, because as Master Yi, you really can't fight Vayne because of her invisibility and her stun.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, obviously Vayne's picked a hard counter Darius, right? So you have two options here. You either completely leave Darius on an island, he's going to hard lose that lane and probably be useless, or you potentially can try and help it, but again, you are a Master Yi Darius, so like, it might potential, but I would say my genuine instinct would be just completely leave it, because yeah, Ezreal Lulu's also going to be able to easily deal with a Darius as well. So you said you wanted to leave top this game, is that right? And what should I call you as well instead of Black Katana? It's a bit weird to say. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris. All right, Chris. So is that the gist of the game you thought as well about?
So I didn't really want to gank bot, just because the Ezreal and Lulu, there's lots of slows, there's lots of disengage there, and then in my experience, silver Lux players don't know how to land Qs. So I kind of wanted to stay away from bot, just one, because they kind of get outscaled, with the Ezreal Lulu, and two, because if the Darius does get fed, he's just going to take over this game, and then I can use that as, a stepping stool to get myself fed and snowball to an early lead.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you can go all in on top lane, but again, you really need to think about as like, at the end of the day, as Lulu, he can take over the game, but your team gets hard outscaled here completely. Like pretty hard.
Yeah.
So we can do that as well. Let's see how it goes. But Misfortune is definitely a lane bully. You can sometimes utilize it again, not so much to gank, but again, the same thing I talked about the other reviews in terms of pressure. Utilize the strength of champions like Caitlyn and Misfortune to potentially dive. But obviously, Master Yi is not really a good dive champion in terms of pre-6.
Yeah. So I just skip my I do the Krugs here, and then I skip the the Raptors, just normally because I have a hard time clearing Raptors and I lose so much health on it that it sets me really far behind and I don't get a chance to get a gank.
Okay, yeah. To be honest, I don't know too much about Master Yi clears. But that makes sense. I mean, obviously, you're a machete jungler. You're not going to be able to do Raptors that quickly. But I love doing the Krugs because that's going to really help your experience in gold. So that's fine. Do you know Karthus started blue this game, by the way?
Yeah, no, I saw he started blue because the bot lane was a little bit late to coming to lane. So they got there about the same time I did, so I figured he started blue. So here, I just go ahead and finish this off, and then I walk up to the tri-bush to get a gank on. I have Ghost, so I can chase her down, and so does Darius. And then, but it obviously failed because I feel like this was partially on me, but I also feel like Darius should have just ran straight, pop Ghost, and just ran her down immediately. And then we could have gotten the kill, and I could have gotten a reset and maybe killed Kha'Zix. I did not see the Kha'Zix walking up, though, because I walked out of brush there right as he walked up into vision.
Alright, so this is actually all on you here, Chris. It's mechanics. So you almost never ever, especially if you get instantly in auto attack range, but even if you want to try and get in auto attack range with E, is you with your auto attacks, because you need to start this with an auto attack always. Like, look at you, you're in hard auto attack range right now. I know you're potentially afraid of the condemn, but you need to save the Q for the condemn. So always like this will change your world, Chris. I don't know if you already know this, but like you have to start ganks off with auto attacks as Yi, and then you auto attack, they flash, then you Q after them, you know?
Gotcha.
And
I guess walk up, get the red buff slow, and then Q after.
Get the red buff slow first, that's right, yeah. If you don't need to Q, you don't need to Q. That's just keep auto attacking until they flash or they use an escape ability, you know, or use a dodge like a big one. So this will change your world, you know. Like the fact that I didn't see that right there probably means that you probably don't do it often enough. So yeah,
I feel like after she flashed and got away, I should have just walked away, but I don't know. I guess I just saw red and went for the kill. And at this point, like, Kha'Zix is a kill up and a camp up, and then I just don't know what to do after this, right? I kind of just at a loss just because I'm behind as Master Yi against Kha'Zix.
Yeah. So step number one is we're never going to get into ourselves into this situation again, okay? Because this is actually where I would end the review, because this should never happen, because you just made a very basic mechanical mistake, you know?
Right.
But let's take a look at how you can recover. But yes, you're going to have a damn hard time for, you know, and this is why I have your first jungle clears. Just seeing the mistakes that instantly lose you the game, you know, and because it all happens in the early game like that. So, I mean, what you got to do here is you can't really do much, to be honest. I mean, you could maybe run straight top, but she's just going to base. You know what you just have to do here? You just have to catch back up, full clear up, and try and gank top again. That's all you can do here, Chris.
I think that's what I try to do, but I'm not sure. I don't remember the game, to be honest.
Yeah, you're probably pretty tilted or something like that off that.
I was super tilted off that game.
But again, remember, it's not Darius' fault. That's all on you, Chris. I shouldn't even hear like, oh, Darius could have done this. It's like, well, you just absolutely butchered it.
Yeah. I think we actually get a kill on the Yone here. I'm not sure what happens after that. Your colleague does get fairly fed.
Well, she's done pretty well in lane right at double assist and just got a kill. So yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to go for this early game here, Chris. Because again, I just need you to do that. Just like it will change your game. Like that's all you take away from this. Auto attack and only Q if you have to as Master Yi. Just keep that auto attacks as much as possible. Save the Q for their escape abilities or gap closes or flash.
Sounds good.
All right, Chris. Well, thanks for coming on. And
yep,
we'll
I appreciate
you next time. I hope to see you high rank. Let's get gold, yeah? Next time.
I hope so too.
Alright, see you later.
Alright, bye.
Alright, another very quick one. Again, showing you guys just how these basic mistakes just change the game for you. Again, this is the purpose of YFJC. We can't be making these mistakes. Alright, so we got 2 more guests for tonight. We got a Fiddlesticks and a Volibear. This is on the Russian server. So let's log on to that. So yeah, Ferch says, yep, 100% mechanics, and that's it, you know. And sometimes people don't want to hear that they lost the games from that simple mistakes, but it's just the reality. It just is. And spending the focus and the effort of trying to be like, oh, how do I recover? How to recover? I'd rather you spend the energy on, again, polishing up your mechanics, your early game, not making those type of mistakes. Because people always, you know, ask me sometimes, oh, Nathan, tell me a video how to, you know, come back. It's like, well, don't get behind, you know, get a lead and close out the game. Yes, there's definitely factors, you know, some theories around playing from behind, but we can focus on that when you guys get a lot higher elo. Maybe maybe I'll start a show instead of your first jungle clear. It's like the mid game macro or like late game, but to be honest, I think we're pretty far away from that right now. We need to polish up these early games. Alright, so let's get our next guest in here. This is a Platinum Fiddlesticks over on the Russian server. Alright, Mark, welcome back to the show. Good to see you here again. This is a Fiddlesticks game instead of Olaf. What's going on, Mark?
I'm currently learning Fiddlesticks. You recommended me to start playing another champion, so I liked Fiddlesticks, but it's not going very well. I have now 48% win rate because I'm testing everything. I'm testing Harvest, I'm testing Electrocute, Comet, and secondary win pages I also often change.
Okay. Yeah, Fiddlesticks, I'm not too much of an expert on. I'll be looking at some high-elo Fiddlesticks one tricks. Why Fiddlesticks? Why'd you choose Fiddlesticks, Mark?
I just played a couple of champions and I think Fiddlesticks was the best of them. I played Kane, I played Hecarim, and Fiddlesticks, and I liked him the most.
Okay. I'd say Fiddlesticks is very difficult to pull off. Well, you need a lot of champion mastery on him. Just the way you play, you feel, I mean, it's completely opposite to Olaf. The way you play fights and stuff. So, how many games would you say? How many games do you have on Karthus right now?
On
Fiddlesticks, sorry.
Fiddlesticks?
Yeah.
Something like 40 or 50.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we... I would say stick to one room build, Mark. Again, follow a high elo Fiddlesticks player. Stick to one build and just focus on champion mastery, mechanics, team fights, reviewing your deaths, you know? Don't go overthink runes and items. Just follow someone, and then once you get more experience with it, then you can start experimenting with runes and stuff. So let's just look at your gameplay. Let's look at the facts right now. And how's your clear? The clear's definitely pretty unique as Fiddlesticks. Yeah. Cool. It's good.
So...
Do you know where Volibear started this game, Mark?
bot side.
Yep.
I had an idea at the beginning that he is going to gank my mid lane, so I placed my effigy into river. But I've done it a bit late, early. I should have done it in 10 seconds before gems spawn.
Yeah, and that would have saved your Volibear, wouldn't it? I mean, the mid gank potentially. So yeah, that's a huge mistake. Yeah.
I'm doing my red side kind of slow. I should do it faster. I'm going to practice it. I'm doing like 3:15, but I shoot in 3:02. I also saw that my enemy bot lane burned flash, but I also saw that my mid lane just TPs back to lane and is about to int, so I can mid lane.
Alright. I like it. Mark, walking through this, you're going to get seen. Do you think you're going to be able to gank this, yeah, Mark?
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious, right, for Lysandra? So you know what you do here, Mark? Just do your Wolves, Gromp, reset back bot, yeah, and start pressure.
Yeah.
All sums are gone down here. I don't know if you know this. You've been looking down here, but bot's very vulnerable. Every second you spend going top here is just a waste of time. You know, we got into Lysandra.
Yeah, I think I shouldn't gank just in this game top lane because I'm too slow for top lane. Urgot gets spiked at level 3 or level 4, and at this moment I'm going to recall.
Yeah.
So I can't gank him.
You need to think right now, Mark. This is an amazing early game already. You don't need to do anything risky. Just do your Wolves, Gromp. If you can assist 1 kill early game and do a full clear, that's a win for me, Mark. You do your Wolves, Gromp, reset bot. You don't need to do anything more, okay? And this is the mindset of like forcing. You're Fiddlesticks, you're a level 6 champion. Let's get level 6 priority. Sure, help your team out in the early game a little bit when you can, but you need to identify the problem that you're not identifying, that you win this game automatically by literally just doing your Wolves, Gromp and just resetting going bot, is a problem, you know?
Yeah, I got it.
Huge waste of time. I can't emphasize, that's a game-losing mistake potentially, Mark, you know? Because you could lose your Raptors off this, you know? Or like Dragon, because they know you have to base, like they could rush Dragon, like it's really big.
Okay.
Like for example, if you did your Gromp and Wolves and you came bot here, you you could have gone to your Krugs and hovered bot lane. You could have actually protected this gank potentially, you know, given that time that you wasted. You actually would have literally been able to protect this gank. That's the difference, you know?
Yeah. I already identified this mistake in the other games. I have problems with tempo resets.
Alright, these guys, sums are coming just up soon.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes. It's like this.
Alright, cool. Good gank bot. Maybe try and dodge the brand stun a little bit better next time. Urgot's down here. Okay, you're level 6. Yeah, look for an ult. What are you scared of here, Mark?
What? I didn't heard.
You see how you're like running away here? Why don't you just throw an E on these guys
I wanted
right now?
to R into their position, so I went a bit of higher to... I was sure that they hadn't warded upwards, so I went there.
Don't think it's necessary. I don't think you need to R here, Mark.
I just needed to take Drake. If I just W 2 times and smite, the Drake would be dead.
No, you need to just use your E, kill and just walk up to these guys and just drain them, you know?
Yeah.
Just walk up to them right now. I mean, obviously you got to take into consideration Brand stun, but even if Brand stuns you here, he's used all his abilities on you, your team can come clean up here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand you're getting positioned to ult here, but it's like, it's not a good position, you know? Like, look, they're running here, your ult's like, unless they look for a hard engage here, which they're not, they're like ranged champions, it's just not going to work, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, this is a really good ult now. Alright, that's good. Yeah, that's actually a good ult. But again, I think you would have saved your teammates here if you just ran up here and just silenced these guys, you know, and just walked up to them.
Yeah.
But this is a good ult.
Springs.
This is a good
We
ult.
lose Drake. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take a double kill there. I think that's good. I think that's actually a fine trade, to be honest, Mark. That's good. Alright, go back top, clear it. This is good. Yep. You lose too much tempo doing Rift Herald here, Mark. Don't do this.
So I don't need to first Herald as Fiddle or... Oh.
You can, but not the fact that all this is up right now, yeah?
Ah, I understood. If my camps are not up, I do Herald. Yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, got it.
So it's just not worth it as Fiddlesticks. It's just too slow, man. You know what I mean? Look at this. It's just, you see that? Like, you should be finished your Krugs right now, looking to ult bot right now, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, Mark, so let's not emphasize Rift Herald. That's another game-losing mistake there. And that's going to be it for this review, Mark. Any other questions?
No questions. Thanks.
All right, all clear, Michael. Understand the mistakes this game.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. Well, let's keep on improving, and let's I think Fiddlesticks is fine if we stick to it, but let's try and watch some VODs of some Halo Fiddlesticks players.
Yeah, I'm watching them pretty often.
All right, excellent.
Anyway,
All
thanks.
right, thanks for coming on, Mark. We'll see you next time.
See you.
All right. One more guest for tonight. We have a Volibear now, so that's the matchup that we just saw. I mean, into a Volibear that last game, over on the Latin American North server. And this is a platinum game. Alright, so we'll drag him up in just a second. Bottle says Fiddles looks like a good time. Yeah, I think he... Definitely, again, another very unique champion. There's no champion that really plays like him. But, you know, making sure you're in position with... You're playing around vision. Fiddlesticks is very, very vision-orientated. Vision for your team, but also playing around the enemy team's vision as well. It's a very unique champ. Again, I think it's one of the harder champs in the game. But if you want to learn it, that's great. You're definitely going to learn a lot about the game. Alright, so let's drag in Fercho. Alright, Fercho, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
Excellent. Sure can. Welcome to the show. What should I call you? Is your name actually am I pronouncing that right? Fercho?
Yeah, Fercho. That's fine, yeah.
Alright, excellent, Fercho. Yep, welcome to the show. First time on. This is a Volibear game of yours. You're Platinum 1 at the moment. Tell me about how your rank's been going so far this season, Fercho. Have you been Diamond before, or is this the highest you've been?
No, I've been playing like for 5 years. I played season 5 and 6. I think I started playing like seriously in season like 6. I got Platinum 2, and then I quit for like 2 seasons, and now I'm back, and this is like my highest rank, yeah.
And is this the have you always been a jungler?
Yeah, pretty much since like season 6, yeah. I've been a jungler. Yeah. I'm actually trying to get like diamond at least before like this season ends.
Okay,
that's like my goal.
Yeah, I mean we're only a matter of 50, 60, 70 LP away, so
yeah.
What would you say your champion pool's right now, Fercho?
Well, I usually play Graves. This game I decided not to play Graves just because like of the Rammus matchup. I didn't want to have to play Graves into Rammus. I played Graves, Volley, Sack, and Trundle when he was like stronger, but now that he's not really that strong, I don't really play anymore. So pretty much like Graves, Volley, Sack. Those are my go-to champs.
Do you think this is a good Trundle game, Fercho?
A Volley game?
No, Trundle.
I think I played the air.
Trundle.
What?
Trundle.
What about Trundle? Oh, there's a good Trundle game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it could have been a good Trundle game. Now that I didn't really think about picking Trundle, but now that I kind of see like it would definitely shut down Rammus and like remove some of the tankiness from Garen. Yeah, I could see it being a Trundle game too. Yeah,
it's pretty good against the mobile champs like Nami. You could easily burn Zia's ult E with your E, which is huge for your team displacement. So I think this is an amazing Trundle game, Fercho. So given your champ pool,
it's true.
Bam, Trundle done. Yeah.
True. Yep.
But we'll do it early. We'll look at this game here. So what's your game plan in the early game here, Fercho?
Well, what I usually like to do with Volley is just do a 3-camp clear into like an invade, since I like clear single camps really quickly. So that's pretty much what I do this game. I just get a strong leash bot, do Grump straight to my red, and then straight to the enemy blue. You're gonna see though, my lanes didn't really have prio, so I was kind of scared of like going into like the invade as I was going. Like I was checking the lane state and I was like looking at mid, kind of pushing, and then top lane just completely pushed. I wasn't sure if it was a good idea. At the end of the day, like it worked out.
Yeah.
So they like I get okay. What?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you go for this, to be honest, Fercho. They're
Okay.
still showing on the map right now. You know, just be
Yeah,
cautious.
yeah.
You need to know when to
Uh-huh.
disengage. Like if you get a flash here,
Yep.
don't flash after him. You know, that
Oh
sort
no,
of
but
stuff.
you're gonna see what happens. So I like disengage, but then
Love it.
Rammus makes a mistake, and I just punish.
I love it. This is great. Good stuff. Perfect.
Yeah, and I just see Garen missing, so I just go do a transition gank mid, just put a little bit of pressure, and then do bot crab. Here, I have a question here. I wasn't sure if like after bot crab, I should have went like top crab and then pressured Rammus again in his blue. But then I also saw like bot wave state, and I was like, okay, I think they're gonna be pushing. Like as I was moving through mid, I looked at the bot wave state, and I was like, okay, they're gonna be pushing in like 30 seconds, so I could maybe get like scuttle and then do a gank bot, which is what I do. But I wasn't sure if maybe going top and pressuring Rammus again was a better idea.
I'll tell you what I think you do here. Fercho is actually, it's actually not even to go for this bot crab at all. You know what you want to do here? I need you to wait a little bit for Garen to go away. This is where patience comes in. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit in this bush until Garen shows back on the wave.
Okay.
Because if Rammus now knows, because Garen's 100% come to check this, you know this because he's disappeared.
Yeah,
Right? Like, obviously
yeah.
coming to you, right? If Rammus still knows that this is up, where's he going to go out of base?
He's gonna go straight blue. Yeah.
So let's wait for him, yeah? And wait for Garen to
Okay.
and come back, repeat. Patience. And then take the blue and Grom, bam. You know, like he's literally screwed.
And
You're
then
going to
take,
go for... And you can double crab him off that as well.
Double crab, yeah.
Yeah. And let's actually just look at the body language of Garen once he sees this is not. Look at this. You see that? You see how he's coming back? Patience. He shows on the wave. You're still sitting here because you're waiting for Rammus to come back again because you know he's going to come back here.
Yeah.
And you'd force him off this again. You know, you hit the blast gun. Bam.
I could even like kill him if I play right.
Yeah. Garen will probably react again, so you might have to be careful. Like you see how Garen's like coming to help him again. But yeah, just keep forcing him off this. You know.
Yeah.
Just even if you get a chunk on him and get him to like 40% health and back off, that's still good. Because then Garen
completely shuts him down. Like
Garen will come down again and he's useless. And you can just do crab and he can't start this as long as you're alive and chilling here, you know?
True. Yeah. Very true.
So think about patience next time, Fercho. This is where game sense comes in. Like this is a bit more complicated stuff. But it's like, where can Rammus possibly go? He's going to go to his blue because he knows it's still up, you know?
Oh, yeah, like, well, that was what I was just saying. Like, I was considering doing top crab and then invading his blue again, but I was afraid that Garen would, like, come and try to kill me in the bot crab, or top crab, I mean.
No, it doesn't even matter, Fercho, because it's going to be gone by then anyway. You already committed to the bot side, so you already left the play. You can't pressure him. So now what you need to be thinking, Fercho, is how do I pressure him on his bot camps? So I think what you did here is good. Let's do this and reset back bot. Yeah. Especially the fact that Rammus shows top here. He's so screwed.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, like
Rammus just ints there.
Yeah, he just completely ints. Yeah. Like I don't know what he was doing. I just gave it to Ori instead of like keeping it.
And reset, and I'll go straight to his Raptors right now.
Okay. I thought about like maybe doing a play in Dragon since like Volley is a really strong early like objective taker. Like when I saw a Seer there like leaving, I thought he was gonna reset. So I thought we could do Drake.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you can do it, but I'd rather you go straight to his Raptors and just check
straight
out.
to his Raptors. Yeah.
Because then you push him, maybe like, hey, Rammus, I'm here. What do you want to do? And then you can take Dragon off that anyway. You know.
Yeah. True.
Keep the pressure up. You know.
Yeah. Once like I'm ahead, I should like keep the pressure up like all the time.
Alright, well yeah, this is still a good Dragon. Cool. Rammus can't contest, he's too far behind. I love it. I love just the full clear, just chilling. Get level 6, you know, be our strength. We're just going to farm way faster than Rammus does.
Yeah.
You can take top crab here.
What do you think about like that Herald? Like if it's a good call or not? Because I saw Garen like just retreating, so I knew he was gonna reset. He doesn't have TP. So I thought like I knew Ramos was gonna be like topside, most likely. So I wasn't sure like if that Herald was a good call or like if it was too risky for like the possible reward I was gonna get out of it.
Yeah, I think there is a risk to this for sure. I mean, Malphite has no ult. Ori has no ult.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any controls. You don't even know if you're walking boards right now. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure I
you
sweeped
sweeped.
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
but-
okay. I think it's like, I mean, you're Volibear, you're pretty strong still, so it's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
I definitely want you to be looking to base for your Cinderhawk pretty soon here, though. So I think you should
Okay.
do Krugs and then base and go bot here, yeah? So why I want you to go
Okay.
bot, you're just going to dive bot with Leona, Kai'Sa ult, yeah? And your ult.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So do your Krugs, get that off the map so it can't get counter and jungled, and then come down bot here, dive bot, 2 kills, break tower, you're rocking and rolling, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Also, something that I did this game since I was like kind of ahead, I opted to buy Sheen instead of finishing
Oh, no.
Cinderhawk. Oh,
Right.
that, yeah. Okay.
This is a game loser mistake for Fercho, yeah? Garen, killing Garen is not your win condition, or you have to be bot here.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And now
agree.
you waste your ult defensively. This is actually where you lose the game instantly here, Fercho.
Somehow it actually works out, like, in the end.
No,
but-
it doesn't work out at all. Even if you get kills, you still lost the game. Well, you still haven't won the
Okay.
game as quickly as you can because you had to be bot. You know, you
Yeah.
have to use your ult bot as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Dive
I should be looking at dive bot, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, this does nothing for you. It's like, what are you looking for? Yeah, the whole move to go for this is wrong in the first place, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not
Like,
going
I
to get
think
any
I was-
tower. It's Malphite. Who cares, you know? They just int.
Yeah. I think I was thinking, like, maybe punish, like, Rammus, since I knew he was, like, topside. But, yeah, I agree. I should have been, like, looking to gank bot. Or the dive bot, just with my ult. And then get Herald, get plates. Like, yeah.
Not top lane. You're not breaking top lane ever here. You know, it's 5 plates. You're not going to happen. You no longer, you don't need to pressure Rammus anymore. You need to pressure Rammus by getting towers and objectives at this point in the game. So between once you get Herald, between 8 minutes and 14 minutes, this is the time to figure out how to break a tower. You need to like problem solve. So
Yeah.
right now it looks like you're just going for mindless kills, but you need to understand, okay, the best bet of get accelerate in this game, my Kai'Sa is 0-1, Leona, you know, like they're doing well, Kai'Sa is going to outscale my Lucian, the Lucian, bot, yeah? Top is an absolute waste of time, it's Malphite into Garen.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Like, at the start of the game, I thought it was a waste of time. Completely agree. I don't know why I did that.
And then that's, you got to stick to your game plan, Fercho, and that's the point, because this, I tell you right now, this loses you the game. Done.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, this is the interesting thing, it's like, oh, but Nathan, I'm 4-0-1, I'm doing great. It's like, no, you're not. You haven't won the game as quickly as you should have, you know? And it looks like the new team starts to slowly get back into this game. Again, all because of this mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I end up losing the game, yeah.
Yep. Alright, Fercho, that's going to be it for this early game here. Any other questions? Was that all clear?
No, yeah, I think it's all clear.
Excellent. Alright, Fercho,
Alright.
well, thanks for coming on. Potentially
thank
see you
you.
next time with your diamond. But let's keep at it. Keep
Hopefully.
improving, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Alright, thanks, Fercho. We'll see you next time.
Alright, thank you. See you.
Alright, that's it for episode number 34 now of YFJC. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode, number 35 of Your First Jungle Clear.